Morning, everybody. It is 8:46, December 2nd. Hope everybody had a good holiday. Market was open a half a day on Friday, made a new all-time highs. This morning, we are like flat pretty much. There was a pullback, pretty much got bought up. All right, but this is going to be a shortened one today. Last second, I had to take my daughter to the bus. So, um, welcome to my channel. All right. So, without further ado, let's just get right into this. What's going on? My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structure in the markets, along with supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most trade up price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. That's how I find structure in the markets. It's my edge. It's how I look at the markets. All right. Hopefully, you guys can join me every day at 8:10 a.m., where I give you guys the recap, the lowdown, the news, basically what's going on in the markets. Right. Now, again, I appreciate everybody. I'm over 200. I actually had 203 subscribers, so that's amazing. Hope to continue with the 300. So, thanks everybody for your support. Obviously, smash that like button if you can. Now, I still owe you guys some videos where I post on X, that's at Gonzo719, and my YouTube Shorts. All right, you can also find me at Gonzo719 Trader on TikTok. Okay, so let's get right into the futures watch list here. Let's see what's moving markets. Like I said, this will be an abbreviated version today. Let's see who's the leader today. We have the VIX. VIX is up 3.55%, followed by crude up 1.53%, followed by the dollar. All right, now Trump um, was basically kind of threatening the BRICS, which is the BRICS is I think it's Brazil, Russia, India. What's the C? China and South Africa. Um, I believe it's South Africa. I don't want to be wrong. Um, Basically, to get away from using the US dollar, he threatened them with tariffs. So I don't know what's going to come of that. That's usually probably going to be negative for gold and silver, which it has been. So the dollar is up 0.75. 10-year yields creeping back up again. Ether's up 0.45. Russell's up 0.11. Nasdaq's up 0.06. ES down 0.04. Dow's down 0.05, like flat basically. 30-year bonds being sold. Silver being sold down 0.44. Gold being down 0.51. Bitcoin's down 1.68. Moving over to the Mag 7 Plus. Tesla got an upgrade. They are up 2.17%, followed by Amazon's up 0.92. AMD's up 0.89. Coinbase up 0.82. Meta's up 0.34. The laggers here, Microsoft down 0.18. Nvidia, there's some Biden's talking about some curbs with China and semis. So Nvidia's down 0.56. It was down more before. Let's move on to the top sector stocks. Leading here is Salesforce up 0.46, followed by Uber, followed by Snowflake. The laggards here, interesting. Goldman Sachs down 0.42, McDonald's down 0.59. Now McDonald's looks like they have a dividend, so does Goldman Sachs. So swing trade list. Let's look at that. We have Marvel Assemis up 4.65, followed by Tandem Diabetes up 4.15, followed by Cloudflare. They got an upgrade up 3.88. Intel's up 3.28. Affirm up 3%. Block up 3%. Pour Solar up 2.42. Reddit up 2.40. And Taiwan Semiconductors up 2.16. Let's go to laggards here. SoundHound's down 2.04. Bitcoin ETFs down 1%, and Supermicrocomputers down 0.98, followed by Mara, followed by TOT. All right, moving on here. Let's go to sectors, the guts of the market. Discretionary. That's Tesla, Amazon, Home Depot, up 0.58, followed by semis, up 0.442, followed by financials. The only little lagger is XLK, which is the largest weighted sector in the S&P 500. It's probably because Nvidia is down and Apple and Microsoft are down. Not a lot though. Okay, that wraps up that. Now we can go over to the economic calendar and just see what's going on this week. So this week, today 9:45 and 10 a.m. news. So I'm gonna probably stay away till after that noise settles. You got S&P Global Manufacturing, and then ISM Manufacturing. Okay, then you got Fed Waller, Fed Williams. A lot of Fed speak this week. All right, we got Jolts Jobs on Tuesday, Fed speak, API crude. Wednesday we have more S&P Global Composite and Services, ISM Services. Fed Chair Powell speaking on Wednesday at 1:45 p.m. That should be a big one. And Thursday, Fed Barkin, and then non-farm payrolls and unemployment on Friday. All right. In the news here, certain things like Stellantis CEO resigns. He said he was not. He had different views as the executive board, so that's moving Stellantis down. That's your Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, I believe. Bunch of other ones, but that's going on there. And then right now, um, as far as the SPY made all-time highs on Friday, and the Q's still relatively weaker. Okay, so we're gonna get right into the main event here. Like I said, it's gonna be brief. Just give me a sec here. I'm gonna pull that up. There we are. All right, let's go over this. Very thin volume on Friday. All right, we're looking at structure. All right, so this is a rolling week. You can see how little volume there's been, which is expected. But we have the most traded price. We have an ultimate balance, folks. Right there, so that's the most traded price of the last week, 60.15, and the last month. Okay, and then we're just pushing up. And you can see on Friday, right here, you opened up, pushed. That's called an open test drive. You test lower, and then you ripped, and you closed all the way up here. Okay. And you kind of broke this 60.37 here that day, right here. Made all-time highs. Now prices right here. We're inside Friday session. Well, not Friday. Oh yeah, Friday. Inside Friday session. Okay. Now some key levels here. Got a couple big demand zones here. But right off the bat, what stands out to me is the overnight low, which is poor. You got the kind of double bottom. But it's also the vary area low and demand zone and the breakout level. Let's call it 60.34 to 60.36. Bulls gonna look to defend there. Okay. And remember, we're going into the end of the year, especially in election years. It's just extra bullish as it normally is. All right. And then we're extra bullish until about January 20th is when President-elect Trump will be inaugurated. His inauguration will be January 20th. That's usually a bullish time. Okay, so we're at all-time highs. So this area right here, and you have single prints down here into the demand zone. So that's really a bull right there. right? It's really a bullish pullback. Like I said, let's just see. I mean, there's not much to dive into. There's no supply really, almost. Um, and this can probably melt up into the end of the year. Of course, there'll be pullbacks. I don't think there'll be big corrections. Okay. But just remember, we're not fully out of ultimate balance, which is 60-15. The more we move up, more shorts we'll have to cover. So that's really trying to see. Other than that, there's not much to talk about. Pretty simple. So right now, let's do the scenarios here. Good morning, Pancake. All right, so it's pretty easy today. I have something to be biased long, okay? And really got a demand zone here. But really, this area, the whole area, honestly, but I would like it in this area. You just got to be bullish, okay? So, market could do whatever it wants up here, but if I get a pullback, like I said, and we test the 60.34, you might even just stop at 60.41, which is like the most traded price of Friday. That could cause a nice pullback and go, or a pullback and then you break out, not break out, but like go past Friday's highs, or you can come into this demand zone, test the value area low, and hold these single prints, and you could also do this as well. Okay, those are longs. Now, of course, if you come down and test the 60.15, right? Give me a second here. That could also be possibly a long, just underneath 60.15. I would say the bulls would lose a little bit of control. Okay, so anything above that, we have to see. Okay, now as far as the short side, this is not easy. Okay, this is not easy. Now the only thing, now look, I said there's two demand zones here. They're going to be hard to short into. So things that I'd be interested in. Okay, let's say if we go crazy, a lot of single prints, maybe lower high, and you can come back in and test this. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of that. The only thing that I would really look at is this 60.15 most traded price of the month and week, and I would like to see this get pushed through, break that demand, and hold. That's about the only thing that I might want to look at last week's lows, which is 59.76. Other than that, you're fighting upstream. Okay? You're fighting upstream. Now, let's look at the NASDAQ. Let's look at that NASDAQ. Now, NASDAQ is different right now. It's gapping up. And it just broke a key resistance. Okay? And there's still single prints up here. Now, we're still underneath last week's highs up here at 210.81. Okay? So let's look at this structure together. So structure-wise, you, again, open test drive, same thing, closed up here. Now you're not in ultimate balance up here, but you do have the most traded price of the week, which is 209.60. 209.60, which is right here. That lines up perfectly with demand and the most traded price of Friday. You want to defend that, bulls, right? And then you have single prints below here in this big demand zone, more single prints. All right, so NASDAQ just needs to stay above 209.60. most traded price of the month up here, just to give you this level here, it's around 211.89. Could even round it to 212. Okay. So gapping up, so your gap fill would be 210.06. Okay, and then you got the 209.60 most traded price of the week and Friday with the demand. So that's what I would look for a pullback there. Okay, so you want to stay above 209.60. Just trying to see any nuances. Um, Not really. All right, it's pretty simple today. All right, let's get into scenarios here. We'll start with the bull case. All right, so we're gapping up. So number one would be 210.06, right? There's single prints here. Last week's highs right here. I would love to see a little push up. If you can fill the gap, then we can kill these singles, hit last week's highs, and see if you can move yourself up into the 212 area. Okay, that's one. Now number two is pull back into this 209.60 area. Okay, even if you get a little scare like a whoop and you recover, same thing. You could work yourself up, clean these single prints, try to move up here. There's a lot of overhead supply in the Nasdaq. Right now, what I'm looking at is Nvidia's almost back to break even. All right, Apple and Microsoft almost as well from Friday's close. So now remember, tech's been relatively weak. So this could maybe their time to catch up to the rest of the market. Okay, now what else can happen? You could also come back, push through here, try to clean these single prints, recover over this. I really want to just see the market over 209.60. You just want to see it accept value, have acceptance over that level. You don't want to spend too much time below it. Okay. Now on the bear side, you do have a lot of supply overhead. Okay, you do have single prints. Now single prints should not act as resistance in a strong market. Okay, so one thing I would be looking at, okay, is this push up. Now this week, last week's highs lines up pretty closely to a supply zone. So this could be lower high, and now we could try to fill the gap here and then move back into 209.60. If you take out 209.60, you got single prints below here, but you have demand here as well. Now in a super weak market, markets rip through single prints. Do I think that will happen? I am not sure, right? Until the market opens. If it does, you could possibly go down to 206.50. Like I said, I don't know. I mean, you can see the Nasdaq's gapping up. So this is just, I have to put it in as a scenario. Okay. All right. I think that's it, folks. Today's short and sweet. All right. Today is short and sweet. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I know it was short, but I gave you what I'm looking at. Okay. I'm going to be very picky this month. Very picky. Because the volume already is not as high. It's also Monday from holidays. All right. But if you could subscribe, set an alert. Hang out with your boy 8:10 a.m. every morning, except obviously today I had a little late start. All right. Obviously, if you enjoy my content, please smash that like button. Okay. Now we have our plan. Let's stay patient and see if it comes to fruition. Okay. Let's see if it comes to fruition. And if it doesn't, It doesn't, and I don't have a trade. But I don't know this until the market opens with the new information, the new data. Okay? So, I wish everybody a great day of trading. Stay green, and I'll give you guys hopefully a nice full session tomorrow. All right? Everybody have a